Welcome back to the channel. Let's examine what Outlander Season 8, Episode 5, Sin for the Devil, is actually setting up, since this is the point at which tension turns into full-fledged warfare. For the first time this season, it seems as though Jamie, Claire, and the battlefield are the same in this episode of Outlander, as the plot thrusts us straight into the mayhem of the Siege of Savannah. They're in it now, not prepping. The atmosphere at the beginning of the episode is oppressive and depressing. Everything feels like it's getting closer. The previously meticulously planned strategies, acquiring weaponry, building alliances, and attempting to remain one step ahead, are now being put to the test in real time. Jamie Fraser has spent his entire life preparing for this precise moment, which he has been attempting to avoid. Here, Jamie firmly assumes his leadership role. However, the leadership we witnessed at Fraser's Ridge is different from this. This is leadership during a conflict. The stakes are right now. The repercussions are fatal. Every choice he makes could be the difference between life and death, not only for strangers, but also for those he knows and loves. And the pressure is evident. He is more concentrated and focused, and it's clear that he realizes that mistakes are no longer acceptable. Claire Fraser, on the other hand, is dealing with a different kind of battlefield that is equally hazardous. Claire is surrounded by injured people, while Jamie is out there managing survival and strategy. Her role gets increasingly overwhelming as they approach the center of the siege. There are fewer resources, greater confusion, and more injuries. This is where the episode's emotional impact is most noticeable. Claire is dealing with the harsh realities of war in addition to helping patients. There isn't enough time to save everyone. There isn't a perfect answer. She must make difficult decisions about who she can and cannot assist. That is tragic for someone like Claire, who has always worked so hard to rescue as many lives as she can. The difference between Jamie's and Claire's experiences is what gives this even greater impact. Although they are both engaged in the same conflict, their approaches to it are very different. Jamie is attempting to guide and defend. Claire is attempting to maintain life and heal. And yet, both of them are being pushed to their limits. The anxiety surrounding the Siege of Savannah keeps growing as the program goes on. The show emphasizes that this was one of the Revolutionary War's most violent and chaotic battles in history. Every scene has an air of unpredictability. Plans don't always work out as planned. There is a communication breakdown, and there's always a sense of peril. This makes Jamie feel more and more pressed for time. He begins to see that war has a tendency to get out of hand, regardless of how well he is prepared. And that insight compels him to change, to act and think more quickly, and occasionally to take chances he wouldn't otherwise take. Claire, meanwhile, starts to pick up on something else, something more subtle but equally significant. The more they enter the siege, the more it seems to reflect the historical event she is familiar with. And she has always benefited from and been burdened by that. She is aware of what should occur, but she also understands that things don't always go as planned. This episode turns that ambiguity into a central theme. Claire may be able to identify certain aspects of the chronology, but she does not influence it. And when you add that to Jamie's increasing involvement in the battle, you get this ongoing tension, the worry that they might be walking headlong into an unavoidable situation. As the show progresses, the title, Sin for the Devil, begins to make more sense. It illustrates how desperate things are. People start making decisions they wouldn't typically make when things get this severe. They take chances, even if it seems risky or morally dubious. They summon whatever remaining power they possess. Everything seems heightened by the time we get to the latter portion of the program. The stakes, the action, and the feelings all intensify. You can tell that this isn't simply another conflict. This is a pivotal point for the characters as well as the conflict. Jamie is facing challenges as a leader that he has never faced before. Claire is being put to the test as a human, as a healer, and as someone who bears the burden of future knowledge. Additionally, they are being challenged as a relationship because everything they do is related, even when they are apart. And that's the main reason this episode is so potent. It goes beyond the Siege of Savannah. It's about what occurs when everything Jamie and even Claire have created, their house, their family, and their sense of security, is drawn into something much greater than themselves. It's evident by the end of the episode that things will only get more intense moving forward. There is no slowing down of the battle. In fact, it's becoming worse. There is no simple way out, and Jamie and Claire are square in the heart of it. Thus, Episode 5 not only advances the plot, but also ushers it into a new stage. A time when survival is uncertain, every decision counts, and the cost of war is felt more acutely than before. The most difficult times are still ahead, if this episode is any clue. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives like this. See you in the next review.